It's a lot of information to grasp. Just think about all the things you do in the course of a day that can impact food safety, your restaurant, and your guests. Hand contact is just one example. Your hands come into contact with many different things throughout the day when you're covering a sneeze, coughing, using the restroom, taking out the trash, handling money. That's just to name a few. And all of these actions can contaminate hands and carry bacteria and viruses to foods and surfaces. In this course, we'll learn why employee health and habits are so important to help ensure safe, quality food for guests. When preparing and serving food to guests, it's important to limit and reduce exposure to pathogens. So, what exactly are pathogens? Let's take a closer look. Pathogens are bacteria and viral microorganisms that are not visible to the eye and that can cause several different kinds of illness and disease. They are found in and on your body, especially on your hands, and can be transferred to food through bare hand contact, bodily fluids, sneezing, coughing, and fecal matter. Restaurant employees must notify their manager and never work if infected with any of these reportable illnesses. Norovirus, Hepatitis A, Shigella, E. coli, Shiga toxin producing, Salmonella typhi, non-typhi Salmonella. And if you're in California, Entamoeba histolytica. In addition to those specific illnesses, you should be aware of any of these situations. Notify your manager about them before going to work, and not work if you're exposed to a confirmed outbreak. You are suspected of causing an outbreak. You have a household member diagnosed with any of these illnesses, or have a household member who has been exposed to a confirmed outbreak.
Achoo.
Infection by a pathogen can cause a variety of symptoms. Crew members experiencing any of the following symptoms must notify the manager and not work: diarrhea, fever, vomiting, yellowing of the skin or eyes, which is a symptom of jaundice, sore throat with fever, persistent coughing or sneezing, lesions containing pus on hand, wrist, or an exposed body part. Even though you can't see pathogens, they can be there. So take a look at the following personal hygiene standards that can help prevent the transfer of pathogens to guests' food. Click on each image to learn more about personal hygiene standards for employees. Always shower or bathe before coming to work. Don't wear excessive or offensive odors, perfume, cologne, or makeup. Hair must be neatly groomed. Long hair, touching the shoulder or longer, must be tied tightly back. Don't wear hair accessories that could fall into food and become physical contaminants. Facial hair must be clean-shaven or covered by a facial restraint. Don't comb your hair in food preparation or serving areas. Keep fingernails trimmed short, clean, and free of nail polish. Crew members wearing nail polish or false acrylic nails must properly use single-use gloves at all times when working with food. Use a clean, leak-proof bandage to cover cuts, burns, scratches, and open wounds. Bandages on hands must be covered by a single-use glove. Bandages must be available to employees at all times. Dress code and uniform standards have food safety implications and must be followed. Employees' overall appearance must be neat and clean. Follow brand standards and wear approved clothing and shoes. Aprons must be worn in food preparation and service areas. Never wipe your hands on your apron, and don't forget to remove your apron before visiting the restroom, smoking, or performing tasks, such as cleaning that could contaminate the apron. Watches, bracelets, and other exposed jewelry, other than a plain wedding band, are not allowed. Post earrings are acceptable, but not dangling earrings. Medical alert jewelry can be a necklace worn inside clothing or in the form of an anklet or shoe tag. Facial piercings are not allowed. Personal items have the potential to bring into the restaurant outside contaminants that impact food safety and may pose foreign object hazards if not stored appropriately. Click on each image to learn more about the acceptable personal items and behaviors. Personal belongings must be stored in a dedicated area away from food, food packaging, utensils, and food contact surfaces. All medication and health and beauty items must be kept in this dedicated area. Medications requiring refrigeration must be stored in a covered, leak-proof container clearly labeled and placed in a dedicated area. Employee lockers, if applicable, should be cleaned weekly. Check with your supervisor for the location in your restaurant dedicated to personal belongings and any franchisee-specific policies and procedures regarding personal belongings. Personal food and beverages must be consumed in a designated area away from production, storage, and service areas of the restaurant to prevent cross-contamination. They must be clearly labeled in a tightly covered container and kept separate from restaurant food and packaging, and must be fully cooked and/or ready to eat. Personal food and beverages must not be stored in employee lockers, if applicable, or prepared using Dunkin' Brands or franchisee equipment. Smoking is only allowed in the restaurant's outside designated area. Remember to wash hands thoroughly after smoking or tobacco use. The following provides an example of a conversation between a manager and a crew member to demonstrate some suggested practices for coaching.
Kim, do you have a moment?
Sure. What's up, Kate?
I noticed that you must have had your nails done recently.
Yes, I did. I'm going to a wedding on Saturday.
Maybe you've forgotten that single-use gloves should be worn at all times, especially when nails are long and painted. It's a law enforced by the local health department where our restaurant is located, and it's also the right way to protect our guests.
You're right. I wasn't thinking. No one wants paint chips or broken nails in their food.
You know, violations like this could potentially close our doors, and that would affect everyone.
As soon as I wash my hands, I'll put on a pair of gloves. It won't happen again.
Thanks for understanding, and have fun on Saturday.
Now that we've covered employee health and habits, take a moment to check your knowledge.